Coach, you're coming off a weekend where your team battled with one of the strongest teams in the MAC. What did you see from your team against Buffalo?
It was a very good weekend in the progress that we made, and I would call it a very valuable weekend because of that progress, and it was made against such a well-trained and experienced Buffalo lineup. They were very good. I watched 8 of their student athletes be honored after the game. That means there were 8 seniors or fifth-year seniors, and it was kind of a record that I've ever seen honored. And they were great players. So it was fun being there. But I'll tell you, Buffalo's serving and their aggressive attacking, they really challenged our defense Friday and Saturday. I use the word valuable because as coaches, though, we could see very clearly that it was evident our team ended up learning a lot from the first match as we went through it and discussed it after. And they carried over to Saturday's match a much stronger level of competing and performance, and we could feel their confidence rise going into that next match. We haven't been always able to feel that as they're finding themselves as a young team and worrying about their own mistakes sometimes, but we've really taken some jumps in the last couple of weeks, and it showed at Buffalo. And what we saw that was so good came after reviewing the film and making some changes offensively and defensively and making little adjustments here and there with our block. And it was a lot. And we sat in a room together for about 45 minutes. And from that, they took out an early lead in the second match, in the first set. And we led, I couldn't even remember the score, but like we've never led a team before going into the match. And that was really fantastic, what they did, how scrappy we were playing defense. And we played some of our best volleyball this season on Saturday night at Buffalo. We showed improvements in our defense, in our serving, some really timely serving and aggressive serving, and attacking more aggressively out of system as well as in system. And out of system is whenever a ball might be passed or dug and it flies somewhere other than toward the net. For fans that don't know, that's what we call out of system, and the setters get to show how fast they are to go and try to get that ball and bring it back in. But the hitters were even hitting off of that very well. So it was fun to see. We definitely had opportunities, but did not win. And we were stifled by 2 things, but not as extremely as we've been stifled in the past. One is a couple untimely decisions, obviously at the wrong time, and then several breakdowns in our passing game. I think certainly worth mentioning as I'm trying to summarize this weekend has to do with some of the players and what they accomplished for us. There seems to be a strong belief among our team members that more of a resolve that their cohesive teamwork was better than it had been before, for sure, in our second match, and that the trust they had among themselves enabled them to earn scores that were closer. 2 of the sets ended 23-25. And we actually could have had both of them, but again, they made better decisions in the moment than we did. And looking at our stats, we felt and we knew our hard work paid off to some degree because we earned a 266 attack percentage against a really fine blocking team, and we haven't done that in a while. And it's one of our highest percentages. We also earned 12 digs per set, played some really scrappy defense together on a court. Didn't matter, middles, outsides, everybody had their eye on the ball, and we're doing some great things. So I know we're heading in the right direction. I'd like to mention a few of our athletes in the highlights of their contributions because I often don't get a chance to do this. Gentry, Warwick, she attacked an impressive 550, and this will be including both matches. She had 2 kills per set and 4 blocks, and they were not an easy team to block, and they were big and they were leapers. Gentry's probably one of our calm, most consistent players, and I don't know what she eats for breakfast, but she always seems to be calm and just is a great competitor. Ellie Hansen, she led the team with 12 kills, 4 per set, and 3 service aces. And she scored 27 points for us overall in the weekend, which is really high. She's our left attacker. She passes well. And I'll tell you, with Ellie, her aggressive mentality on how she plays, she had some great line shots, really went after the block and tooled and earned points in that way. But that mentality really leads our team on the court. And if I haven't said that publicly, I'm going to say it today. Maggie, our other middle senior, had 3 blocks, and she hit 385 against very aggressive blocking at the net. And she strengthened our team performance with her consistency both nights, but especially on Saturday. Hayden ran our 5-1 offense, and she earned 58 assists. So she was the only setter in these matches. She earned 58 assists, which showed also some good accuracy and averaged out to 10 assists per set, which we're still working on getting higher, but a lot of that has to do with what the passers and hitters do as well. She's very timely in her attacks. Instead of setting the ball, sometimes she'd attack it. She scored on 5 kills for a 500 attack percentage, which is very high. This helps keep momentum back in our court, or it helps stop their momentum. And she did a really nice job of making decisions of when to best put the attacks down. She has been one of our best servers, along with Ellie Hansen, this season, and she dealt two aces out to Buffalo, and many times didn't get the ace, but pulled them out of system because of how strong her serve is and how well it floats. Last but not least, or second last to not least, Reagan. Reagan, our freshman, was always on the right pin. This was the first weekend she played to the left side instead of the right. And this is the position she played so well in high school and in club ball. And she made us proud. She ended up hitting a very impressive attack percentage for any outside hitter, but for her first try on the college level, 357. Very proud of her, putting down 14 kills to the floor with 1 solo block. And it was a lot of fun seeing her celebrate that solo block with her teammates. And then Brianna. She's our talented left-handed freshman who's starting to earn more playing time at the right pin, and she's really working hard. And you don't earn playing time without working hard, and she's proving that. So on the weekend, Bri earned an attack percentage of 545. Couldn't figure out how to block her. We do need to get more ways to set her because we didn't give her enough opportunities, but that can come in the future. So I was very proud of Reagan and Brianna for different positions played or playing a position more often. Other than that, I guess there's no better time than now. I'd really like to thank our fans in Oxford and at Miami University for their loyal support for all our matches this season. It's been a difficult season for us. We'd like nothing more, though, to come back and earn a win for our fans, for ourselves this weekend. It's our final homestand, and they've been just so great coming out and supporting us. And I think we can do it. I think we get that win for them, and let's just do it together for love and honor.
You now turn your attention to Akron. What can we expect from the Zips?
You know, the Zips are a good team. They are coached by Tyson Norton. He's in his second season. And he's got them playing well. They're 11-15 overall in the season, and they're 6-9 in the MAC. And his team plays hard. They've earned some really good wins even prior to the MAC season. And their lineup is full of juniors and 2 freshmen. And I'll go through that very briefly. Their outside hitters are 2 of the juniors. Both are listed at 5'11". Number 20 is a gal named Baker. She's a transfer in. And number 16 is Johnson. And Johnson's a very aggressive attacker, whether the ball's in system or out of system. And she, of course, leads the team in kills. So she's someone that we certainly want to stop. And I'm sure Baker is a decent hitter as well, just doesn't have the stats that Johnson has. She also, going back to number 16, Johnson, she's also second on the team for total blocks. So she's a nice athlete. Their right side hitter is number 7. She's 5'11", and she's a redshirt junior. She's averaging 2 kills per set. And both middles are juniors. Number 6, Kennard, leads the team in blocks. And she's a very versatile hitter. I think she's the real go-to as a middle. But they both have different strengths, which will make it challenging for us. But Kennard has 88 blocks total and really a nice hitter. And number 17 is Jones, 6'3". She's bigger, but her feet are really good lateral movement. She slides well. And so both these hitters will definitely give us a challenge, and we'll be working to prepare for that. The 2 freshmen in their starting lineup, one is a libero, number 1, DeReal is her name, their starting libero. She is averaging 3.68 digs per set, which is pretty decent. All liberos want to try to get 4 to 5. And number 18, their other freshman is a lefty setter. Her name is Vitiskova. She's a very active setter. She's a great athlete. She'll play defense. She works hard to find her middles and to really get a good mix to the pins as well. Just another note just on their middles. They do hit a variety of attacks. Like the middles are capable of hitting behind the setter in 2 or 3 different zones and also in front of the setter. So we'll be preparing this week, and we're trying to simulate their serve-receive patterns and how our middles will best defend their middles, and then how the outside blockers will complement them. And I think we'll be ready for that when we see them. But that's something that's a little different about their offensive plan, and it's been effective against other teams. So keep an eye on the middles, and the best way to beat that is not let them pass to the net. And so we're also going to continue to work on our serving.
This weekend we celebrate seniors Maggie and Taylor. What type of impact have they left on the program over the years?
Maggie and Taylor, their experience these last 2 years and just their calm and their confidence, it's always a help to younger teammates, and they certainly are that. I don't live with them, as you can imagine, but I know when they get together as a team, I'm sure that they have their impact and have done a nice job helping, especially our new freshmen, and in general, just showing them the Miami volleyball way and how to make sure you're on time and all those great things. But more just too, I think they know, our underclassmen know that they're both good people, work hard, and that makes them great role models for our team. I'll always remember Maggie and Taylor in their freshman year is when we were still impacted with COVID. And they came to campus. We finally were able to come as a team. And then people went home again. And, it's been really hard. And even now, their last 2 years of college volleyball at Miami, COVID is still having a lasting effect because there's the COVID rule. And while we don't have that number of seniors or fifth-year seniors, they're playing, and our team's playing against those teams that do. And it's been rough. And they have had to be so resilient and so patient as upperclassmen to help this team, continue to learn and get as good as we can get. And I just appreciate both of them. And I'm happy to say that publicly, who they are, how hard they work in school, they're good hearts. They come from great families, and we're going to miss them. But they each added something different to our program, but at the same time, with the maturity and the reasoning and the good sound reasoning that I think helped guide our team this year.